I asked ChatGPT to give me a list of the top hacks for entrepreneur moms. And this is what ChatGPT came up with and what it gave to me. Some of these are already hacks that I use in my business. So I will share a little bit more on those about like how I implement them, what they actually practically look like in my business and in my day to day. But my hope is that whether you are also a fellow mom running a real estate business, or if you are a mom running another type of business, I hope that these tips and hacks can help you as well, because this is something that I'm very, very passionate about, but I've also been very, very intentional about in my business. I am somebody who cares a lot about consistently raising my income in my business and generating more income from my business over time. That is very important to me, but what is equally as important to me is also running my business in a way to where I am only working an hour or two max a day. So these are things that allow me to run a successful business that consistently generates amazing leads. These things I really believe will help you scale your business like I have mine, so that you can have more time freedom in your business. So the first one is use the pockets of time that you do have. When you do get a pocket of time, don't waste it. One way that I do this is I create a running list in my phone. I always know what the things are that will move the needle in my business or the things that need immediate attention. I also write out on a scratch paper the night before I go to bed the most important things for my business. Like if I don't do anything else, these are the things that I need to do in my business, either the urgent things for whatever current transactions I have going on in my business, or whatever dollar producing things that are going to move the needle and generate more leads for my business. Those are the things that I write down, only a few of them, the night before. They are on a scratch piece of paper. And so it's not necessarily like a schedule, like at 1 o'clock I'm doing this task and then 10 a.m. I'm doing this. It's more just like a tentative thing. I know I need to get them all done by the end of the day. And obviously I'm going to tackle the more urgent ones first, but I have that list and I know when I get those time chunks, I'm going to be using them. And having this list written out, I like to use scratch paper. I think it's really powerful, but you can use your phone notes as well. But having it written out ahead of time really helps you not waste time. So when you do get those pockets of time throughout the day that happen while you're doing your mom life or whatever at home, you're not wasting it by just picking up your phone and scrolling, and then you realize 10 minutes have gone by and you could have used that 10 minutes to check off a task for your business. The second thing on the list was time blocking. I live by time blocking. It is a huge, huge way that I run my business. This is what I do instead of having an actual schedule. Now, if you want to know what exactly is time blocking, go more in depth on this. I already have made a full video on it, like how exactly I use time blocking for my business, for my real estate business. But like I said, I really believe that these can apply to a different business that you have as a mom as well. You can find that video on my channel about time blocking specifically and more in depth on how I use it. But I'll just give a quick example of how this might work for me right now and how I'm using this. I generally only work during my work time block. When you have a child who is napping, that definitely makes it easy to time block, because it's like an already made time block. The nap is your time block. So for a very long time in my business, like years in my business, I only worked during my daughter's nap time, with the exception of, running out and letting an inspector in, or running out and showing a house and then coming back home. Like I very, very, very infrequently worked when it was not my daughter's nap time. Obviously, I would answer the phone and get back to people. I don't consider that work, although I guess it is. But I would really only do focused deep work during my daughter's nap time. So that nap time was my time block. I knew it was going to be there. That way I did not wake up and feel this like, oh my gosh, I need to get to work. I need to start working on my business. No, I could enjoy my day, do my morning routine, whatever that looked like, do a little Pilates video, eat breakfast with my daughter, whatever it was we were doing, read books together, whatever it was we were doing that day, go on our play date. And then I knew that work time block was coming later in the day. So for me, it works best to have this work time block in the afternoon. I generally will have this work time block for an hour or so, maybe at 1 or 2 or 3. It's not so set in stone, like it's the same time every day, unless I have an appointment booked for someone. Those are generally the times that I try to book Zoom calls. When I do those, that's generally the time frame I will book them in. But I know that time block's coming, and so this really helps me stay present earlier in the day. Right now, I'm also homeschooling my daughter. I'm teaching her how to read. We're having so much fun doing that. It's such a blessing, and it's something we both genuinely love so much that I didn't see coming. However, this gives me the ability to spend the whole morning focusing on doing that with her, or like I said, taking her on a play date, getting together with our friends, going on an outing with our friends, something like that. But then we eat lunch, and then the afternoon time block begins, and she has her, independent play things or independent learning things, whatever it is that she can do independently now that she's older and not napping. And then I can do that like hour or so work time block. So it helps me stay present and not be thinking about work or worried about getting behind in my business while I'm with her, and give her my full undivided attention, because I know that work time block's coming. If I think of something that I need to do for my business, I will just write it down. And then once that work time block starts, I'm tackling that list and getting everything done for my business. And I don't know if that makes sense, but this is something that just really helps me stay very present when I'm working and present when I'm not working, which I am really, really grateful for. The next tip that they gave us is something I already do as well, and that is batching tasks. Group similar tasks together. For example, schedule all your meetings for one time block of time, and batch content creation. This could be blog posts, social media posts for your business. Batch it all. I do back-to-back Zoom calls. So for me, this might look like I will schedule all my Zoom calls in one day, and then the next day I'm not doing any Zoom calls at all. Or I will schedule all my videos, like all the videos that I'm going to be making for my business. I will do them back to back to back one day, and then the next week or multiple weeks, I'm not doing any videos at all. So just batching, doing things in batches is a huge, huge time saver, and that is definitely something that I do and utilize in my business. Utilize tools and apps. I use Google Calendar. I have everything on my Google Calendar, like an appointment, whether it is business related or not business related. I really utilize my Google Calendar as well as a real in life calendar. Other apps and tools that you can use to make your life easier. There's Canva. There's Fiverr.com. I use them quite a bit. You can outsource so many things for your business, no matter what your business is, on Fiverr.com for pretty good pricing. If you have any tools or apps that you use for your business that really help you in that way, leave them below in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. That's an area I honestly don't use too many. I do use some, but not too many. So let me know what you use in the comments. Set clear goals. Define clear and achievable goals each week. Find out what truly moves business forward and be flexible with the rest. Having clarity is huge. What do you really want your business and day to look like? I know that I don't want to not work on my business at all. That's not the goal, is just being retired, sedentary, idle. That is not the goal for me. I really feel like I need to be running my business, although I only want to run it for an hour or so a day. And that doesn't include, I get back to people. Like, okay, I always return calls promptly. I am getting back to my clients promptly. Like, I do not drop the ball on those things, but I have a lot of clarity in what I do want my business to look like right now. So for me, I really, truly only want to work with agent-to-agent referrals. If you're watching this and you are a real estate agent outside of the state of Oregon and you have a client needing a realtor in Oregon, my husband and I are a team and we'd love to work with you. We love agent-to-agent referrals. We know, like, we only really want to try to actively get agent-to-agent referrals, people we know, like our sphere of influence, past clients, referrals from them, and leads that come from our YouTube channels. And that's it. Like, I know for me, that's all I want. And so knowing this helps me know exactly how to use my time. So getting really, really clear. I actually just did a video. I don't know if it'll be up first or this one. So if it's not up yet, it'll be up soon. Hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss it. If it is up, you can go to my channel and try to find it. It's about getting like clarity in your real estate business, but I think it can apply to other businesses as well. But I really went in depth on getting clarity for your business and how I have done that. And that's this next point though, was getting clarity. Set clear goals for your business. If you don't have clear goals, I feel as though it would be very hard to know what the best use of your time is for your business. If you're only trying to work for an hour a day on your business, but you still want to have a successful business and consistent clients, consistent income, then you got to have goals. You got to have clarity. Incorporate family time into work. If possible, include your children in age-appropriate aspects of your business or combine work and family time. like listening to a business related podcast while you're on a walk with your kid. So that's what they suggested. They, as in ChatGPT. That's what they suggested. If I am needing to get marketing content done and my daughter and I are out and about all day, I will have her with me in the back of my car and do my neighborhood tour, which is something I do that brings me business. I will do that neighborhood tour with her in the back of my car as we're on our way to whatever fun thing it is that we're doing that day that's not business related. Just last week, I was putting together newsletters like old-fashioned snail mail, because I love old-fashioned mail. I was putting together letters, a newsletter that I wrote to send out to those on our newsletter list for our business. And my daughter was so excited to help me put the stamp on the spot on the letter. And I mean, I think that's kind of educational. A lot of kids nowadays don't even know what a stamp is or how to like write an envelope. Like there's little things like that they can do that are learning opportunities for them, and they probably will enjoy being involved. Obviously, they're not like doing all your hard labor, but there's just little things like that you can include your family with. And I always try to do that when I can. It's kind of a random example, but I really always think back to like the Bible times or the Proverbs 31 woman who was clearly an amazing mom, very present, and her household was very well taken care of, and that was a priority for her. Everything was in line, but she was also an entrepreneur. I think that is, you can't read that and not think that she was an entrepreneur. Back then, they didn't have daycares back in the day. Like she was bringing her kids with her and doing it all in an excellent way. And like her kids were with her while she was out in the field doing her entrepreneur work. Like I don't know that for sure, but like I'm just sure that's just how I see it in my brain. Like for so many years, this is how things have been. And I don't know. That's just a small example, but that's just something I think of a lot in my head. And I love that example. And it's something I do feel really, really passionate about and strongly about, is doing an excellent job in my business and being an excellent, very, very present mom, and doing both together at the same time, and like blending family and business, blending it all together. Automate what you can. Use automation tools for repetitive tasks such as email marketing, like MailChimp or ConvertKit, social media scheduling like Hootsuite, and customer service like chatbots. So we do use Lofty. That is a CRM system. It fits for our business. Some of those other things might fit for your business, but we use Lofty, and we do use Lofty for automation. If you don't know what Lofty is and you're in real estate, you got to know what Lofty is. I have a couple of videos of it on my channel sharing more in depth, but Lofty is an amazing CRM system. And the way that we use this is a handful of ways that we take advantage of the artificial intelligence virtual assistant, the AI virtual assistant. That really helps us with lead follow-up, capturing leads on our website, that type of thing, pre-qualifying leads that come to our website. We also use Lofty to automate sending emails. So when we have drip campaigns is what we call them, we send out consistent emails to leads depending on the type of lead that they are. So you can automate your email monthly newsletter. Like there's so many different ways that you can automate your business. That's just one small example. Embrace imperfection. As a mom entrepreneur, perfectionism can be a barrier. Learn to embrace good enough. Recognize when something is done rather than spending extra time to make it perfect. That's so true. Like I do all my videos in one take. I sometimes don't even have a script or think of what I'm going to say. And I could sit there and be like, you know what? I could do it better. Because I could do it better. I could do it again and it would be better. But no, I don't have time to do that. If you are a mom, like you have limited time. And especially if you're trying to work in this short chunk, you have to embrace those words, done is better than perfect. I have said this before, but I make very imperfect marketing content on my other channel that brings me my business. And I think you can make marketing content on YouTube and it can bring you business if you're in a different, industry as well. But from what I do, my content is so far from perfect. Some might call it very unprofessional. However, it still brings me business, and I wouldn't have it any other way because I don't have time to chase perfection. I don't have time for that. So embrace imperfection. Be okay with putting out imperfect content. Prioritize self-care. Running a business while raising children can be exhausting, so make sure to schedule time for self-care, even if it's just a few minutes of deep breathing or a quick walk. I feel like self-care for me right now in the season looks a lot more like discipline to, for example, discipline to eat in a way that's going to make me feel good so I can perform at my best, because I don't have time to not. Like if I'm trying to do all the things that I'm doing, I don't have time to not. Or having the discipline to do a strength training workout, even if it's 5 minutes every day, just so that you feel strong and you feel your best. I feel like that's what self-care for me is, more like discipline to go to bed early, even though I really don't want to, and I don't want to go to bed early, but I know that I'll be my best if I do. So that's what self-care looks for me right now, but that can look a million different ways. The ninth and final hack from ChatGPT or GTP, whatever one it is, was set boundaries. Set clear life boundaries with your family and your clients. For example, avoid checking emails outside work hours. Set expectations with your family on when you need focused work time. So I run my business in a kind of unconventional way. Like, for example, yesterday was Monday. Yeah, yesterday was Monday. I did not work all day. I was just with my daughter, doing other things, doing life things, home things, but nothing business related until probably like 6 p.m. My husband and daughter went swimming, and I wanted to get some work done. I didn't have to, but I know it's stuff I need to do if I want to keep leads coming in. And so I knew I needed to take that time to do it. And so from probably like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., I was in my office working. And so like, I don't necessarily set that like work hours because I don't want to work in that way, if that makes sense, because I like the freedom of choosing exactly when and how I work and run my business. But I know for other people that makes them comfortable if they want to do things that way. But I do think boundaries are important when it comes to checking your email. I don't just check my email all day long. I've said this before, but I'll check it in batches. For example, I'll check all my emails at once, get through all of them, return all of them, and then set it down and not look at it for, a few hours or maybe till the end of the day or the next day, instead of checking it continuously all throughout the day. And you can do that with your text too. But anyway, setting boundaries with clients. I think working with solid people really helps, because I used to have to set boundaries with my clients all the time because they would call me at 6 a.m. or 10 o'clock at night. And now I work with just such solid leads. I think because when you do video marketing for your business, you get better quality leads. That's just the way it is from my personal experience. So I don't even really have to set boundaries with my clients because they're just solid people. So that kind of takes that away. But anyway, that is it. I hope you got value from today's video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because I come on here every week with new videos. And if you like these type of episodes, you can also listen to them over on Spotify. Be sure to subscribe over there as well. I'll put that in the description. Feel free to leave any questions, comments, or video suggestions in the comment section of this video, and I'll see you guys next week.